Hello everybody. Can you tell that I am excited for fall? I mean, hello, sweater, pumpkin cup. If you saw the rest of my outfit, it's adorbs. I'm in a skirt. Today I woke up and I checked the weather and it said 91. It has been at least 110, 115 all summer long.
91's cold to me, okay?
So I am in a sweater. I'm drinking coffee. I'm so ready for fall, especially since today is September 1st. Now, I don't know when this is getting posted, so ignore that fact. As you can tell by today's title, we are going to be going over every single book on my bookshelf, and I'm going to tell you if it's overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated. I've seen a bunch of people do this, but they've done it with popular BookTok books. I personally haven't read a bunch of popular BookTok books. I say that as like I have like a bunch of popular BookToks on my shelves, but just give you my opinions on it, you know? Why not? So I don't know which side we should start on. Should we start here, here, or here? That was the newest edition of On the Bookshelf since the last video, which if you haven't watched it, go watch it. I redid my bookshelf for y'all. I know you'll like those videos. I don't know why. You'll see me stress out for a whole 30 minutes. But y'all like it. Anyways, we're gonna start with dark romance on this side, and I'm just gonna tell you if it's worth it, if it's not worth it, what I personally think, what I would rate it, if I would give you the recommendation to read it. Okay, first we have the Rena Kent series, the God of Wrath, God of Malice, God of Ruin, God of Fury. I still have 2 more books that I need to get from this series. This series is chef's kiss. 10 out of 10. Would recommend to anybody. I personally don't want to say it's a good introduction to dark romance, but I don't know what is a good introduction to dark romance because I dove straight into it. I read Haunting Adeline as my first dark romance book. So my opinion on what's getting you good into dipping your toes into it kind of invalid because I threw myself and I crashed. Anyways, but I personally love all of these books. If I had to be like overrated, rated, you know, the theme of this video, I would say underrated, perfectly rated, underrated, underrated. That's what I would say. Okay, then we have Beautiful Venom. I love this book and I have not seen enough people talk about it. So underrated. I haven't seen anybody talk about it. It's like crazy to me. First we have Birthday Girl. I think this one is perfectly rated. I've seen a bunch of hate on it. I've seen a bunch of good things on it. I personally think it's perfectly rated because the hate comments that does happen, or like the hating that does happen on this book is understandable. Like I can understand why you would hate on it, but I personally like it, so I think this is appropriately rated. Okay, next we have Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I would say that this one is overrated because low-key this book was boring. I've heard that the rest of the series is good and that it does get better, but personally to me this one was incredibly boring, but it was good and I read it I think in a vlog. I think it has its own series. Let me know in the comments if I should continue that series also, because now I realize I did vlog it, I just haven't continued the rest of the series. Next we have Credence. See the way I'm holding it? I think this is perfectly rated. I see enough people to like it, I see enough hate it. I'm personally kind of in the middle, so I think it's perfectly rated as it is, and I'm just gonna leave it as that. Lights Out. I think that this is personally overrated. Oh my god, who said that? Who said that? I personally think that it's overrated. Like, is it good? Yes. Is it funny? Yes. Is it like dark romance? No. Did it deserve the hype that it got at the time? Yes. Does it still deserve the hype? That's what I'm questioning. That's what I don't know. So at the moment, I'm just gonna say it's overrated. First, we have The Priest. I personally think that this is appropriately rated. I haven't really seen anybody talk about it, but I haven't seen anybody talk about it, to be quite frank. So maybe underrated? I don't really know because the fact that nobody talks about it is a little concerning to me. But I read it, I personally didn't rock with it because it had to do with like Jesus. Literally says priest on here. It's not like disrespectful, if that makes sense. I don't even know what I'm trying to say because like, yes, of course it has to do with the priest and him finding love, and it's like priests can't do that, but I just think, actually, I changed my mind. Can you tell I'm indecisive? I don't really know how I feel about this. So, period. Next. We have Her Soul to Take. I personally think that this one's a little underrated. Everyone needs to go read it. Drop what you're doing. Don't drop this video. Drop what else you're doing for the rest of the day and go read this book. Next, we have Haunting Adeline. And I'm just gonna kind of leave that one there. Like, I think it's good. I think it's, you know, it's there. But I do think it's overrated a lot. Because I see so many people... Actually, this is really making me think, y'all. I think that it's overrated in the sense that everyone hates on it and not enough people, like, actually sit down to give it time to be like, okay, do I like it? Do I not like it? You know? They just read it and they're just like, ew, I hate it automatically because everyone else is hating on it. It's what I think's happening. Which, I mean, if you do hate it and you have give it time to read and that's what you think and you're sticking to it, period. I'm glad that you stick to your reasons. But you read the trigger warnings and you hear what everyone else is saying, so like you should, within your right reason, be like, oh, everyone's saying this and I don't think I can handle that, then I shouldn't go read it. So why are you gonna go read it knowing that you can't handle it and you read the trigger warnings and you've seen everyone's review and then still leave a negative review? That's the part I don't get. And all of that to say, I think it's overrated. Anyways, let's put these back and move to the next shelf. We are going to just jump right into it. Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I love her writing. I literally love her. Okay, first we have The Naturals. I think that this is low-key kind of underrated. I don't hear enough people talking about this series. But you know what series I do hear them talking about?
Inheritance Games.
I think that this is underrated because nobody's talking about it. And I think that it is like 6 stars. I would highly recommend to everybody. Then we have Killer Instinct. Oh my gosh. If not the best one in the whole entire series, I don't know what is. Normally when you read a series, the second book kind of isn't like that good. Especially if it's like a trilogy or a 4-book series, the second book's kind of like drag. Not in this case. This ate it down, ate the crumbs, ate the plate, ate everything. Okay, that's how good this is. Highly recommend. Very underrated. Not enough people talk about this series at all. All in. I am currently, where am I? I have a little bit left. I'm probably gonna finish it this month. Not holding any promises or anybody's hand when I say that because we know me. Anyways, I personally think that this one is perfectly rated for what I have seen so far. Ironically, I've seen more on this book than I have seen on the other books, but I think it's because Sloan is in this one. And Sloan, I love you, girl, but like, you're confusing me. The Inheritance Games next. I personally think that this series is overrated. Oh my god. I know, all y'all are gonna be in the comments. Oh my god, I love that series. That's my favorite series. How could you say that? Oh my god. Let a girl have her opinions, first of all. Let her voice it, okay?
Give me a minute.
I personally think that we could have stopped at 3 books. Why am I looking at Instagram and I see Jennifer Lynn Barnes post and she's talking about another book? Girl, what is going on? I stopped reading after the 4th one. I didn't even read the 4th one. I was like, this is boring. I'm not doing this anymore. Could have stopped at the 3rd. I think that it's personally dragging on. I think the 2nd one dragged. Personally, personal opinion. Did I like it? Yes. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Did I have a good time? Yes. Who am I to deny the facts? This is a good book. Now, do I think we need the whole series? No. No, I don't. Do I think that we can share some of the love that this series is getting and send it to the Naturals? Yes. Yes, I do. And I rest my case. I think I've quite literally said enough. Next we have Rock, Paper, Scissors. I love this book. I will 100% recommend this to anybody, anytime, any day, anywhere. If you're like, oh, I want a good thriller. Oh, I want a good mystery. Boom. Bam. You know, serve it to you on a platter. Eat it up. Because that is how good this book is. Alex Feeney, the queen that you are, for writing a masterpiece. And nobody talks about it enough. And it makes me so mad. I think I've seen one person talk about it, and it's Destiny. I personally think, especially with Halloween and September and fall coming up, everybody, again, drop what you're doing. Don't drop this video. Go read this book. It is that good. I think it's underrated. Next we have the reappearance of Rachel Price. I personally think that this one is perfectly rated. I don't think that it's like, oh my gosh, this is like overhyped. Like I didn't really hear that many people talk about it. Then I also didn't, that's the thing, I didn't hear that many people talk about it. But when I do hear people talk about it, I think everyone's opinion for it is valid. I haven't seen that much hate. Actually, I haven't seen any hate. And I haven't seen that much like good things about it. So it's kind of just there. I kind of just see people like, oh, I'm reading that and that's it. I personally think that it's good. I read it in a reading blog, a 24-hour reading blog, so you should definitely go watch it. I had a lot of fun with it. It gave me a panic attack. That's when you know a thriller book, mystery book is good, if it gives you panic attacks. So I rest my case on that one. I personally liked it, but I do think that this is appropriately rated, and I think everyone should go read it, especially with thriller. Sorry, with Halloween coming up. I was gonna pick them up, but the series has a lot sitting. Like, see how much is sitting on here? So we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I think perfectly rated, especially since now that it has a movie or a TV series on Netflix and stuff. I think perfectly rated. Perfectly rated. I think this whole series is perfectly rated in the sense that it's not like, oh, everyone's talking about it, so like I think that it's perfectly rated in the sense that like I'm glad that everyone's talking about it. Finally everyone's talking about it. Finally people are getting to watch and read and, you know, and have the same experiences that I did whenever I first read it. You know, if that makes sense. I think we're gonna start this way, work our way that way. Okay, first we have Mile High. I personally think that this book is appropriately rated. I see enough people talking about it that I'm like, okay, period. But then inside of that, I see enough hate and I see enough love. I think that it's perfectly rated. A tad bit underrated because I see more hate than I see love. Because I personally loved this book. I see a lot of people say that they hate Xander, and I'm just like, I love Xander. I see a lot of people say that they hate Stevie, and I'm just like, I love Stevie. If you're just looking for a sports romance books, anything by Liz Tom Ford. For sports romance, I would say Liz Tom Ford, Lauren Asher, Ellie Kennedy. Those are like my top like sports romance recommendation books. Okay, next we have Done and Dustin. This is, I think, appropriately rated. I don't see that many people talking about it, which is a little bit concerning because it is a good country romance book, and I think that's like, since it's such a small niche of, well, country romance isn't small, but like the author, where's the author? Lila? Mrs. Sage. Anyways, I think because when this first dropped, she was like an indie author at the time. I don't really know. But my point is, I haven't seen that many people talk about it, and I think more people should talk about it. But the people that I have seen talk about it, I think it's appropriately rated. Appropriately, you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, I can't English today, apparently. Next we have Flawless and Heartless. I will never, ever, ever, ever stop recommending the Chestnut Spring series to anybody. To anybody. That's how good that series is. I ate it down. All the books eat down personally. I loved them all. Next we have Wild Love and Wild Eyes. These are also in the same series. I love this series. Will recommend them at any time. Again, I think it's just because I love Elsie Silver so much that she has never steered me wrong either with a single one of her books. Actually, Hopeless was a little, I think that was right. I think Hopeless was a little bit where I was like, I don't know about this one. But with her other books, every other book that I have read, she's never steered me wrong. So I think that these are properly rated. I haven't really seen any hate on them at all either. Next we have the King of Sin series. King of Wrath, perfectly rated. Okay, if not a tiny bit underrated, if I personally will say. I don't actually see a lot of people talking about that one. Now that I think about it, I think underrated. King of Pride, overrated. I see so many people talking about it, and me personally, I did not like that book. I think it kind of dragged and was kind of boring. Don't get me wrong, did I have fun reading it? Yes. Did I like the characters? Yes. I just personally did not like the story. Take that as you will. Next we have King of Greed. I think appropriately rated. This book took me a minute to get into because I'm just not a second chance romance book. I don't know. The trope with second chances. I don't like it because it's like, you had me once and you messed up. You're gonna mess up again. Like, I just personally don't like it. So did it take me a minute to come around to it? Yes. But now looking back on it, I think this is like one of my top 3 from this whole entire series because it's that good. Next we have King of Sloth. I think overrated. I personally didn't care for this one and it was very big. Did I like the story? Yes. Did I like the characters? Yes. I just think it dragged on for like far too long. I quite literally think we could have ended it about right here. We didn't really need this much left. Last but not least is my baby, King of Envy. You will never, ever, ever hear me say anything bad about this book. That's how good it eats down. This was served on a silver platter. This is like a gourmet meal, okay? That's how good this was. I ate the crumbs, I ate the plate, I ate the table, I ate the silverware, I ate it all because that's how good it was. I will not shut up about this book. Next we have the Twisted series. This is what got me into reading. We have Twisted Lies, totally 100% underrated. I love this book. It eats down. I will not stand for a single bad thing that gets said about it. I love this book. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Next we have Twisted Hate. Again, love this book. Love this series. If you can't tell, I love Anna. I just love her, okay? She's a queen. Every book she I eat it. I eat it up. It's that good. I'm just gonna say, the whole entire series I love and I think is appropriately rated. I've seen so many people talk about it, and in that series I see that they love it. I think this is good. This is good. They hold a very dear special place in my heart because this is what initially, this and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is what started all of this. So thank you, Holly Jackson and Anna Huang, for starting my addiction. Next we have Happy Place by Emily Henry. I'm gonna be totally honest with y'all. I didn't finish this book right here. Oh my god, I'm a liar. I'm a fibber. But it's basically finished at that point. It is a soft DNF because I did like it. For some reason with Emily Henry books, I love the writing and I love the story and I love the people. I cannot read them. I have to have someone else read them for me. So I have to have an audiobook, but my audiobook, on Libby, it went away. And then I went to go get it again and there was like 7 people in line and I was like, okay. I personally think that this one is underrated. Since this is the first one that I have read by her, I personally don't see enough people talking about it because she has so many different books, and this one I don't personally think is talked about enough, so take that as you will. Next we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I love this book. Eats down, annotated it, and I'm gonna call myself out again, so that way y'all can call me out. I did not finish this book. I did not finish. I don't know exactly where I left off. I'm assuming where the last tab is, so I'm assuming I still have this much to read, basically finished, but again, I went into a slump, so the story of my life. The story of my life. I take her home. Sorry, I love this book. I love it. I think this is underrated. And every time that I do see people talking about it, they're hating on it. And I'm just like, this is a masterpiece. This is Grammy winning. If there were to be awards for, wait, is there awards for Grammy for books? I don't know. But if we were to hold like an event for books the way that we hold an award for music, this would win it all. This would win every single category. This is art. And that's all I'm saying. If you can't tell, I love this book. Okay, next we have After. Low-key, I want to reread this series. I read the first one when I was like 9, and then I read the rest continuing after she dropped them all on Wattpad, and that's kind of where it just started. Personally, I do think it's a little overrated, low-key, but that is not stopping me, okay? It's not stopping me from reading it, not stopping me from loving it. Do I love the characters? Yes. Do I love the storyline? Yes. Do I think Hardin is crazy? Yes. Do I think Tessa's also crazy? Yes. Do I think they're good together? No. No, I don't. They're super toxic. but I like that they're toxic. Maybe that's a me problem. I don't know. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, perfectly rated. I see lots of people talk about it. Actually, that's not true. I don't see enough people talk about it. So maybe it should be underrated. But the people that I do see talk about it, I see so much love for it and so much like chef's kiss that I personally think that you should just drop what you're doing and go read. Please, please, please. Don't drop this video. But afterwards, you know, perfectly rated. All the hype that this book gets deserves it. All of it. I think that speaks volumes, that it deserves the hype that it's gotten. Take that advice from someone who used to hate this book. When I first read it, I hated it and I was like, oh, this is boring, this is... And then I picked it up again and I loved it. So, overrated, quite frankly. Do I like the people? Yes. Do I like the story? Yes. Did I like how it ended? Not really. Do I like the cover? Absolutely. That is gorgeous. And I think that's quite frankly the only reason why I got the hype that it did. Don't come for me. Next we have the Binding 13s. I would pick them up, but there's stuff on top and I don't want to move it at all. So Binding 13, perfectly rated. Keeping 13, perfectly rated. And I haven't read the rest of these, so I rest my case on that. Girl in Pieces and You'd Be Home by Now. This is art, okay? Same as I said with The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is art, and maybe it's just because I understand this book in a different level, and I sympathize, I empathize, I just understand it. This is art to me, okay? And I will stand by that. Same with You'd Be Home by Now. This is art, and I stand by it. I personally love this series. I think that they go over tough subjects beautifully, and I don't think that it's executed beautifully. I don't think that it's like overdone or they did something like they wrote something and it was disrespectful. I don't think they did that at all. I think everything that they talked about exactly what it's like to go through any of these situations. So this is beautiful. This is art. I will never stop recommending them, especially for like not self-help books, but just people who are in said situations, if that makes sense. I don't know what that's called, but I will never stop recommending these. If You Had Been With Me, low-key overrated. Oh my god, who said that? Me. I think that's overrated. Do I like the book? Yes. Do I like the characters? Yes. Did I cry at the end of the book? No. Because quite frankly, we already saw it coming at the beginning of the book. Is it sad? Yes. Very sad. But I didn't really cry, and I saw a bunch of people saying that they cried, that like they stared at a wall for like hours. Like, okay, let me not lie. I did shed a few tears, okay? And I did question what I read after the end, and I just sat there kind of like this. And mind you, this was like on my 15th birthday also. That like night, I just finished it, and I was just like, and I sat like that. So take that as you will. I will recommend it, and I will tell you that it's a good book, and you will not see me hating on it. Most of the books on my shelf actually you will not see me hating on. But I think it's a little overrated. For all that it gave us, I think it's overrated. I want to say underrated. I haven't seen enough people talk about it, and that's what's concerning. Which is concerning because this book is so good. There are still 2 chapters in here that I have, like the epilogue, I haven't read because when it finished, I highlighted this whole entire paragraph. It was just like the cherry blossoms. She only had a short life, like they do. The beauty that she brought in that time will never ever be forgotten, because nothing as beautiful can last forever. She was a butterfly, a shooting star. She was perfect. Her life was short, but she was mine. Now tell me you're not crying over that, because I did. I did. Anyways, my parents had to take this book away from me because I was crying so hard. I still have this much left to read. More people need to talk about this book. Next we have Fourth Wing. This is my shrine for Rebecca Yarros, if you can't tell. I have 1, 2, 3 copies of Fourth Wing, 2 copies of Iron Flame, and I plan on getting another copy of Onyx Storm. Fourth Wing is beautiful. I love that book. I love that series. You will never hear me hating on it. That's how good it is. 6 stars, would recommend to anybody trying to get into romantasy. I personally think it's beautiful. And at first when I did read it, I hated it. When I did first read it, I hated it. So then I read it again, I changed my mind. So take that as you will. Then we have Iron Flame. This one kind of did drag. Like I said, normally second books in series normally do drag because they're trying to give you so much information. That way the next couple books make sense. Kind of what happened in this one. There was just so much information and nothing happening at the same time, which made it incredibly boring. But in continuation, I think that it was a good one. Oh, Onyx Storm. I didn't do Onyx Storm. That is a work of art. That is a masterpiece. That is heaven sent. That is beautiful. And I will not recommend, like that book is gorgeous. Okay? And yeah, I think that one is perfectly rated. I think so. This is my shrine for all my special edition books. I'm kind of running out of room slowly. Then we have Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. This one, I think personally, this is my personal opinion. Do not come for me for my own personal opinion, okay? That's why everyone has them. I personally think that is overrated. And I mean that in the sense as like, is the book good? Yes. I just don't think like it has so much hype, and I think we can share that hype to other books that have the similar styles, if that makes sense. Like I'm sure there's some book out there that's similar to Percy Jackson, just nobody talks about it, if that makes sense. I personally think that this series is underrated. And you're like, why underrated, Diamond? People talk about it all the time. What do you mean underrated? Let me hold your hand when I say this. This could actually happen. This could be our future. And that's what's scary, is that not enough people are thinking like that. Or if they are, they're not talking about it. And that's what's freaking me out. And I don't mean the fact that like there's superpowers. I just mean that like the world could get nuked and like we're gonna be living like this. That's the part that scares me. First we have Powerless. We're starting over here. Powerless I think is perfectly rated. I've seen so much hype and so many people talk about that and I love it. And I think that it's good. Also, should I do a reading vlog to this series? I kind of want to. I kind of want to reread it. Y'all let me know in the comments if I should. Then we have Dance with Thieves. Oh my gosh. Underrated. Underrated. So underrated. This book eats down. I know it looks a little thick, but if you want a good introduction to just plain fantasy with a tiny dash of romance, that's all I'm gonna say. I have not seen anybody talk about it, and more people need to talk about it because it is that good. The Cruel Prince. Okay, next. Oh, lightning thing. Oh, we've already done these ones. Okay, so I guess we're coming back to this one. I think it's a little overrated. Who said that? Oh my god. I think there's a ghost in here. Who said that? And I'm not gonna say anything else on it because I talk about this book too much and how I just don't like it that much. So I'm just gonna leave that one there. Okay. Starting with the ACOTAR series. First, as a whole, do I think this series is overhyped? 100%. I think this whole entire series is kind of like, it's kind of how I feel when I think about it. Individually, pretty decent, kind of dry, kind of boring. This is really good. Ate it up, ate it down, ate it up and down, ate the crumbs, ate the plate. Very good. What the poop am I reading? What is this? This one was boring. This one was so incredibly, and I haven't gotten to these two because I DNF'd this one. So I'm just kind of leave that one there. Next we have Crave by Tracy Wolff. Underrated. I don't see enough people talk about this. This is like the new age and coming of Twilight. This is Twilight on steroids. It is so fun. I had the best time reading it. I want to reread it and do like a reading vlog. So y'all let me know if y'all would watch that. Okay, next we have Twilight, New Moon, Midnight, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn. No, don't even get me started. I am a Twilight advocate. I love Twilight. Twilight is my life, okay? It is like a core memory embedded into my brain. You know how like Inside Out, you have the core ball, the core memories? That is what Twilight is to me. That's it for today's video. It was probably really long and I don't know if I feel sorry or if I'm glad that it was long because some of my videos have been short recently lately. So you're welcome or you're not welcome. I don't really know. I need to decide. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all like long videos or short videos, or if y'all don't really care, y'all just here for the vibes, which I love that too. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.